With tonight's loss, the Yankees have now lost 9 of their last 10 postseason meetings with the Red Sox, dating back to Game 4 of the 2004 ALCS. How come we never realized this sooner? The curse was obviously reversed.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. He's Brian McKeon. I had to watch this masterclass of buffoonery unfold on TV, but Brian was there in person watching everything unfold.
Section 237.
If you haven't watched us before, I've been hosting the show 7 years. Brian's been with me for the past year and a half. This is our second playoffs together, and hopefully it won't only last until later on Wednesday night. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. On today's show, we'll preview Game 2 of the Wild Card Series, which is now a win or go home game, so that's always fun. We'll discuss the other wildcard games from Tuesday, and we'll also look at your comments in segment 3, and we'll commiserate. We'll wallow in the misery together. But first, okay. This game could be a backbreaker, or it couldn't be. You never know. But let's go through what we were talking about before we went live, and let's try not to curse, because we were cursing before we went live, because we're very angry about this game. Let's just talk about Max Fried and how awesome he was.
He was great. It's unbelievable. He was everything you could have possibly asked for in this spot. He came out, he dealt, he kept the game right where it needed to be. The Yankees gave him 1 run of support, which is gonna be because of the buffoonery by the manager. That's gonna go by the wayside of how terrible the Yankee offense was.
Right.
But they gave him 1 run of support, and that was Max Fried said, all right, sounds good, and held it down. He was that good.
And wait, he was also fighting against a home plate umpire who made him throw at least 20 to 22 extra pitches. So if
the 5th inning in example is the perfect one, because he threw at least 15 more pitches than he needed to in that 5th inning.
Narvaez walked twice when he should have been struck out twice. Twice. And I'm not going to blame this game on the home plate umpire, but there's a snowball effect when these things happen. So Fried having to throw those extra 20-ish pitches, Boone looks at him and says, oh yeah, well, we'll take him out here, instead of letting him pitch to the 8th and 9th batter and pitch through there was no reason for him to not pitch through the 7th inning. And it got even worse when you saw what Cora did with Crochet. This is game 1 of a 3-game playoff series, okay? Max Fried will not factor into anything until at least Sunday. Let him throw. What are you doing? Every year we say the same thing. They will not win anything with this manager there. We saw it in the World Series in game 1. You see it in countless games. And this was example number 1. There was no reason to take Max Fried out. None.
6 1/3, 4 hits, no earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 102 pitches. Thank God you saved his arm, though, because now he'll be fresh for April when he has his next start.
And he even said that he felt fine. Like he felt like he could go longer. He said
he's
that
your ace. He's your ace. That's it. Like he is your ace. You have to ride on the back of that player. Like, you went out there and gave him a $200+ million contract in the offseason for him to go give you these kind of starts.
Yes.
Where was the obsession with pulling him so quickly? There wasn't even a sign that he needed to be pulled. He was dealing. He got through the 5th inning with 2 guys on, and then he gets into the 6th, gets the first guy out, and then you needed to pull him for what reason, Stacey? It made absolutely no sense.
He needed an ovation, right? He needed to come out and get an ovation.
What we do, and Max Fried, by the way, is not the guy that gives a crap about an ovation.
Of course
he doesn't care
not.
at all. But
he's not Cam Schlittler.
Also, if you're Aaron Boone and you're so obsessed with pulling him, why have him get the first out in the 6th inning and bring Weaver into not a clean inning? Why not bring him in at the start of the inning so at least he has a clean inning going in? If you watched yesterday's Locked On Yankees, Locked On Red Sox crossover that I did with Gabby from Locked On Red Sox, she asked me what the key was going to be for game one and how the Yankees were going to win that game. And I said they're going to have to make Crochet throw a lot of pitches. I said that not a single Yankee batter should not named Aaron Judge should not take a pitch. Well, that wasn't the case, clearly, because
they did for a while. Like there was a stretch there where they were all taking at least 5 pitches. There were a few at bats there, and then all of a sudden,
the sixth and seventh inning came.
Runs.
The 6th and 7th inning came, and you gave him a 10 and a 9 pitch inning, so that wasn't really good either.
Yeah.
And she asked the other question. The other answer that I gave her is I think the Red Sox had an advantage in this series. I think the Yankees had an advantage almost everywhere in this series besides one place for sure. And the one place for sure was in the dugout. Right. It was the manager. And as this game unfolded, and I know you're going to hate me saying this, and I know a lot of Yankee fans are going to hate me saying this, but it's the truth. Alex Cora did a masterclass on managing around Aaron Boone. He ran circles around him in this game.
No, he always does. Alex Cora does this, right? Ooh, like he baits him. I'm going to be facing Aaron Boone. I know he's going to do something stupid, and I'm going to do something smart to counteract the stupid that he just did. And what was the stupid? Taking Fried out when he did.
Yep. 2 things here. So he takes Fried out, but leaves Ref Snyder on deck because he knows that Aaron Boone, as Aaron Boone apropos does, is going to go pull Max Fried after one batter. So pulls him, and then he pulls Yoshida out to get the next guy. It was such a masterclass. So let's Max Fried face Duran, get Jarren Duran out. Rafaela and Sogard come up, get on from Weaver, and then Yoshida comes. He knew exactly what Boone was going to do. Boone fell directly into the trap. And then what does Cora do? He puts out Masataka Yoshida, who is a pure contact hitter and doesn't strike out, knowing Boone's going to bring Luke Weaver in, who is a contact pitcher pretty much. And lo and behold, first pitch is a strike left right in the upper part of the zone, which, by the way, to a pure contact hitter, Luke or Austin Wells, you got to know better and not leave a pitch in the zone. Yeah. Yoshida was all over it, put the ball into right field, easy peasy, done, simple. And the other place where Alex Cora did a masterclass on Aaron Boone, Max Fried goes 6 1/3, 102 pitches, was dealing up until that point, and you pulled him for no reason. For no reason at all. Hadn't given up a run, was dealing, pulled him. The other guy across the dugout in Garrett Crochet was dealing also. The most pitches Garrett Crochet had in a game this year was about 110, but he didn't do it often at all. You know how many pitches Garrett Crochet threw today? 117. 117. Cora said the only, and we said this too, the only 2 elite options they had in their bullpen were Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman.
Who we didn't even see. We didn't even see Whitlock.
Yep. And Cora said, I'm not going to use Whitlock because if I don't have to use him, why let the Yankees see him? And he said, my pitcher is dealing. I'm going to ride the back of my ace.
Yeah.
And he did. And Crochet gave him 7 2/3. And once Crochet started to struggle, then he brought Chapman in.
Fried could have done the same thing.
Yep.
Fried could have pitched at least 7. You bring Devin Williams in, and then you bring Bednar in. And the game is completely different. But no, of course not. So let's talk about the one run that the Yankees got, because people were comparing Anthony Volpe to Jim Leyritz, the guy that only performs in the playoffs. And this is an interesting stat. Volpe becomes the first shortstop in Major League history with 15 hits and 10 walks in his first 15 career postseason games.
I don't get it. When he hit that home run, everybody in the bleachers was saying if there was any guy that you could have predicted to hit a home run first in this game, he would have been the last guy that came to mind.
Right.
The other complaint that I wanted to have on this too, by the way, the amount of pinch hit opportunities they had late in this game that Boone just didn't. Boone didn't even think to use Ben Rice. And Stacey, I get it. You want to keep the righties in. You want to fine. Late in the game, when it's a 1-run game, when you can tie it with a home run, and Ben Rice had 26 home runs in the year.
Someone could just accidentally hit a home run. What are you doing?
Bro, at that point, you throw out the lefty-righty bullcrap. At that point,
who cares?
You have to just put in Ben Rice because he had 26 home runs on the year, and let him see if he can run into one.
Right.
Not having him at that point. Even Jazz should have been in this game earlier. Jazz had 30 home runs this year. Let Jazz go in and see if he runs into one. Instead, you have Jazz batting in the 9th inning when he's trying to hit a 7,000-foot home run, and it's useless at that point. So that made no sense, too. A lot of people were complaining, and I do want to give Boone – I don't want to give him credit. That's the wrong word to use, but I want to just give a little bit of an example. Goldschmidt not running on the tag-up opportunity in the 9th inning. There was no point in setting Goldschmidt there. They were down 2 runs. I can understand complaining if they were down a run. Being down 2 run now, if they would have had a faster guy like Dominguez,
I was going to say, do you think they should have had Dominguez come in?
I don't, because the runner on second was the important runner. That was the tying run. The runner on third didn't matter. And with one out there, you're not going to send Goldschmidt to hope he scores when his run doesn't mean anything. And if he gets thrown out at home plate, you can't get thrown out at home plate to end the game. So I didn't really have a problem. You needed a base hit there anyway with 2 outs. That would have scored the guy from second. So you might as well left him on third base. That I didn't have a major problem with. Now again, Dominguez should have been pinch running for Goldschmidt when Goldschmidt got on. The fact that Dominguez wasn't pinch running when Goldschmidt got to first base is insane in its own right.
Right.
But once he wasn't out there was no point at that point having him.
He should have been there as soon as Goldschmidt got on base, because then you bring Ben Rice in to play first if they take it 2 extra innings. I don't. But it's
understand. It's not thinking in advance. It's not critically thinking. It's not thinking in advance.
But Cora always does. Boone is the person who is in traffic and doesn't look ahead and breaks at the last second, where Cora is the person who looks 5 cars ahead and can see the traffic is slowing down.
Oh, no. Cora gets off the exit and drives around the traffic before he even gets there. Like, he is, and again, I know it's a Red Sox manager, and I know he's attached to the Astros stuff, so I get it, and I'm sorry if it aggravates Yankee fans. I know there's a lot of high emotions going on in the Bronx right now, but he is so much better of a manager than Aaron Boone. It's not even funny. It's not even, they're not even in the same ballpark.
It's disgusting.
It's insane. It really is. And
it's disgusting.
He just put on an absolute masterclass in this game of how to manage. Again, baiting him into taking Fried out, going with Yoshida against Weaver, who is just a pure pathetic. I mean, the Yankees used, let me count them. The Yankees used 5 relievers in this game. They used 5 relievers. Fried went a 6 1/3, which he shouldn't have gone. They used 5 relievers for no reason. He was so obsessed with getting to the bullpen. I
forgot about Cruz.
So obsessed with getting to the bullpen for no reason whatsoever. It was so unnecessary. But he had to get to the bullpen that badly, and look at what happens.
Yep. All right, well, we'll get to things in segment 2. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. For the listeners of our show, the link is in the description. If you're watching us on YouTube, here you go. There's a QR code for you. You know how to use QR codes. It's 2025. They're on menus and all that stuff. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. We give you top priority on Fan Mail Friday. We send out the lineups during the postseason, any roster moves that are made, in breaking news, so you don't have to check social media. There's also a Discord, which I actually didn't check, so that must have been fun. I'll have to look back. It's private for the insiders. There's your perk. There's a 14-day free trial. All right, coming up, we're going to give you reasons why you shouldn't be so negative about this series just yet. Next.
There's nothing like catching a baseball game live. The energy, the crowd, the chance to see your team in person. But actually getting tickets winds up always being the hard part. The queues, the login screens, the surprise fees. It takes all the fun out of it. And that's why I'm all about using Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all the fees are included, so the price you see is the price that you pay. The app makes it super simple. It gives me priorities on things that I want. Plus, fees are always included in the price that they show online. It is so simple, so easy to use. You have to go there for all your tickets. It's also faster, cheaper, less stressful. Perfect. So here's what you got to do. You got to download the Gametime app today. Create an account and use code one word LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's a promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. And Locked On Yankees is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving a lot of money on the table. And that's where Monarch Money is at. It's an all-in-one personal financial tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives, and if you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is just for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. It can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of all your money without ever having to touch a spreadsheet. You can maximize your investments, increase your savings rate, easily review your finances with your partner and your financial advisor, keeping a clear view of all your financial health week to week and long term. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. I got to be honest with all of you guys, and I appreciate all of you that are in the stream right now. It's a beautiful thing that we can all come here and commiserate when the game ended. Getting out of the parking lot, Stacey, at Yankee Stadium was an atrocity. It was impossible to get out of that parking lot, which is why I got back a little later than I expected. We're here doing the show. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for all you guys that are watching live, anyone who's listening on their commute the morning after, anybody who's I'm sure we're going to get well over 10, 20,000 people that are going to view this episode. And I'm very proud of that success that we've had. I'm going to flat out say it. I'm aggravated. And this is as mad as I've been after a Yankee game in a very long time. This is the game they should have won.
Game one of the World Series.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is a game they should have won. And I know Crochet was on the mound, and I know you could have penciled it in as a Red Sox win when you saw the schedule come out and stuff. I get all of that. And the series isn't over. There are reasons why they can come back. It's certainly not over. I think the Yankees, quite honestly, do have a slight advantage just because the Red Sox pitching is just nothing to write home about going forward. But this game was winnable, Stacey. It was. Yeah. And I directly contributed to the manager losing in this game.
Yeah. The thing that worries me is things look better for the Yankees going forward, but this is such a demoralizing loss. The way that he took Fried out too early. They cough up the lead immediately. They get the bases loaded in the ninth inning, and then Chapman shuts them down. They can't even score a run with the bases loaded with no outs. They had a Noble Tiger, which if you're new to that acronym, I've mentioned it a few times on the show, but Noble Tiger stands out for no outs, bases loaded, ending with team incapable of getting easy run. So I thought they were set up for a moment there against Chapman. I thought, okay, maybe Stanton can hit one out. Maybe I even said, and I can't believe I said this because my Catholic mother was sitting next to me, and I said, you know what? I will go to church every Sunday from now on if Stanton can hit a home run here. And then he did. And I said, all right, I guess I don't have to go to church now.
Yeah. And then I was afraid of Jazz's at bat because Jazz never has a good approach, no matter what the situation is. His approach, I like him as
like a golf club. It drives me crazy.
I like him as a player. I do. And the 30-30 season is really nice, but he has
a hit there. Just get it. He has
zero approach going up to the plate, Stacey. Every time he's up there, he's trying to hit the ball to the courthouse.
Don't do that. They have to be smarter. And I know they can be smarter. And you know what? The manager could say something to these guys. Like, hey, all we need is a single. All we need is a single. Don't try to kill the ball.
You know, I know that I know that Garrett Crochet is an elite pitcher. I get it. There's no excuse for why he retired 17 Yankees in a row.
No.
After the Volpe home run.
No.
There's no excuse why you didn't work the count more in situations. There's no excuse why he had a 10-pitch inning late in the game. And there's no excuse for any of that.
Really, really frustrating.
And it's funny because after that 10-pitch inning, I said in the bleachers, because everyone likes to kind of talk about the game, I kind of just said out loud and thought, when my family was there, you know, how did he have a 10-pitch inning there? How could how could your hitters not be going up there taking pitches? And at that point in the game, he's dealing, take 2 strikes.
Right.
Like make him at minimum throw 5 pitches per at bat.
Yeah.
And the response that I got from a fan nearby was, well, who do you want them to tell? Who do you want to tell the players that? And I'm like, the manager. That's his direct job.
The bench coach.
I said it to the guy next to me. I'm like, because he was like flabbergasted. Like, well, how would the players know that they should be taking?
How would they know they play baseball? Like, what are you doing?
And if they're not going to be aware, because I get it, as a player, you can be caught in the moment, caught in the game, and not real. That is the manager's job, to be able to sit kind of on top of the game and kind of realize
you need to do this. No, you need to do this before the game is even played. When they were having their meetings, Crochet is a really good pitcher. He's probably going to go into the 6th or 7th inning. We have to have good at bats against him. You have to try and get him to at least 5 pitches in a bat. Make him work. And they were doing that for a bit, and then they stopped.
Well, clearly, I said it coming into the game. And if you watched our short before the game, that's exactly what I said. Any hitter not named Judge needs to take a strike in this game. And that was the approach they had early on in this game. And then all of a sudden, once Crochet got over 80 pitches, they gave up on that approach.
Right, they gave up.
Made no sense.
They gave up. They did. Caballero had a couple of good at-bats. Things didn't work out for that one at-bat, but he had him.
Even Austin Wells had a tremendous at-bat in the middle there. He went up striking out, I believe. But the at-bat was like 9 pitches. That's what you needed. And instead, I mean, I'm sorry, the team was gutless. They were. You can't have 17 guys get retired. Someone's going to get hit by a pitch. Someone's got to draw a walk.
Yeah,
Someone's
stop moving out of the way of these inside pitches. Let yourself get on base. What are you doing? I know it's a reflex. I get it. But, come on. It's Garrett Crochet. You know you can't hit him. You know you can't hit him. You have to get him out of the game at any means possible. And if that means not hitting him and making him throw 100 pitches in 6 innings instead of 8 innings, then do it.
One more point. I know we'll make this point more in the offseason, and it's more of a grand scale point, but let me just entertain me for a second here. The Red Sox traded their 2nd, 6th, and 8th top prospects in their system last offseason for Garrett Crochet. Do you think anybody in that Red Sox organization or anybody in the state of Massachusetts really cares right now that those prospects aren't in their system? Right now, an hour and a half after the ball game ended, they care that they have Garrett Crochet on their team. Right. And the Yankees could have had Garrett Crochet. They could have had, name pitcher that's available to trade for. But the Yankees have hugged prospects for years and years and years and not been able to acquire those guys.
Okay, so the positives. Judge had 2 hits. He had a hit in his first at-bat. He had a hit in his last at-bat. He looked okay, right? Yeah. I mean, it's hard to look okay against Garrett Crochet, but that first at-bat was great. I just wish one of them went over a fence, but it's a good sign that he hit the ball against both Crochet and Chapman. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind.
Chapman wasn't great, by the way.
Right. Which is even more frustrating, more frustrating. They had him on the ropes. And then Volpe's home run and his second hit. He also had 2 hits in the game.
Flair for the dramatic Anthony Volpe has. It's weird. I can't explain it, but he does have a flair for the dramatic.
The defense looked good. There were a few good plays that were made by the defense, and I was a little worried about it, and it actually worked out well, especially on the left side, because Max Fried likes to give up balls on the left side, and Caballero actually cut in front of Volpe that one time. That was actually pretty good. He made that play.
I was happy with that. Good.
Yeah. The other positive, going forward.
On fielding, by the way, the Bellinger play down the line, too. That was to hold the double there. That was a tremendous play. Those little things don't get noticed, but they should get shouted out for, because that was an unbelievable play by Bellinger to get to that ball. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's okay. Let's move the other wild card series into the next segment, because
of course
we have time, and we will chat with you guys because you're all here. There's 29 comments I haven't looked at. Brian, take a look at them. Put them up on your screen. But yeah, we'll be back in a moment. We'll be previewing game 2 of the do or die. It's a do or die game in the Bronx with Carlos Rodón on the mound. And we'll also chat with you guys, and we'll discuss the other games in baseball, because it was an interesting game, or an interesting day of games for Major League Baseball. So that's all coming up next.
What's up, guys? The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across that app. I love using FanDuel, guys. It gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even follow the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting, and especially when you got a little bit of juice and a little bit of action running on the games, absolutely perfect. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience that much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Cover your team every single day, but also we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It also streams on our YouTube channel. Get our after reaction, all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast.
So, I just checked. The Dodgers are beating the Reds 10-2.
Yeah.
So that's the only game that was a blowout. Every other game was close. The Tigers and Guardians finished at 2-1. The Tigers won that game in Cleveland. That was a deflating loss for them. The Cubs were able to get 3 against the Padres. They won that game 3-1. And then our game 3-1 as well. Could have been 1-0. And I know people will say, well, the offense needs to do something. The offense needs to do something. Yes. But you know what? I've been to 1-0 games when the pitching is really stellar and you keep the other offense from scoring. So I don't want to hear that because, as we said about 58 times in segment 1, Boone should not have taken out Fried when he did.
There was no reason to at all. And I'll it's the only reason that the Tim Hill decision, the Nestor Cortez decision, whichever way you want to call it, the only reason that decision is worse is because it was made in the World Series.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Max Fried, you have to ride your horse in those moments. And you gave Max Fried $200 million in the offseason for what? What is the rush to get him out of the game? And I'll tell you this, Stacey. If there was a weird scenario where Will Warren, try saying that 3 times fast. If there was a weird scenario where he had to start in a playoff game and you wanted to pull him there at 102 pitches, I would have been fine with it. Right. I get it. But this is Max Fried. This is one of the best pitchers in the league. You can't just yank him. It makes no sense at all. So this is going to bother me.
If Skubal and Garrett Crochet weren't having phenomenal years, Max Fried would be in the Cy Young discussion. That's
He's going to finish third in the Cy Young.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's going to finish third. So frustrating. Speaking of that name you just brought up, we gotta discuss what he did. Tarek Skubal. 7 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned, 14
strikeouts. 14.
And I mean, if you watch this game, he was dotting the corners. I mean, he was unbelievable.
He also had the 5th most swings and misses since they started tracking that in 2008. Guess who had the most?
Swings and misses. Who had the most?
In a playoff game.
In a playoff game, it's got to be Garrett Cole. Yep. It's that Yankees. It was the Astros start against the Yankees, right? 2019.
No, I think it said ALDS. He had a really good start in the ALDS in 2019 too.
That was the insane year, right? That he struck out 300 people and actually missed out on the Cy Young because Verlander got it over him.
Yeah. But Tarek Skubal he had 31 swings and misses in that game for Houston, and Tarek Skubal had 26 swings and misses in Tuesday's game. So
the Guardians tried to Guardians up this game as much as possible. They used a lot of pinch hitters. They really changed things around. I just don't know if the talent level is there for this team. They had a crazy run.
But did you see what happened in the last inning?
I was just about to bring that up. Inexcusable.
Oof.
Inexcusable. I mean, and for your top player and you're for the head of the face of your franchise to do that.
I mean, you have a runner on third
with 1 out.
You have a chance to tie the game, and you run into an out at home plate. That felt like a Yankee contact play move. I just was like, wow, this looks familiar.
Yeah, that was awful. I don't anticipate the Tigers losing this series. I just think they have so much more talent than it's not a knock on the Guardians. I just think the Tigers' talent is just so much greater than the
Guardians really had to win. They had to somehow beat Tarek Skubal, and they couldn't do it. Just like the Yankees had to somehow beat Garrett Crochet, and their manager played them out of a game.
Well, yeah, the Yankees actually did enough to beat Crochet in this game. It was the manager. Casey Mize versus Tanner Bybee will be the starters for game 2. That the only concern I have for the Tigers is they never got a second starter. Casey Mize has not been a number 2 this year. He's been a number 3. Right. So you're kind of behind. But boy, you got guys like that, like a Skubal and a Crochet. It gives you a lot of faith that there's a possibility. The second game of the day, Stacey, at Wrigley, Cubs Padres. Did you watch this game All honesty?
No, I was grading papers.
Okay. Now, if you did watch this game, do you think that your sound would have been on or off on the broadcast?
Oh, wasn't Ben McDonald doing the game? It would have been off.
Okay. Well, you would have missed the conversation about this entire game being, the ball doesn't fly out at Wrigley this year. No one hits home runs in Wrigley. The Cubs can't hit home runs in Wrigley. Cubs win the game 3-1. Padres had a run early. And then Seiya Suzuki and Carson Kelly hit back-to-back home runs to left field. And,
of course.
And the Cubs won the game 3-1. They tacked on a late insurance run in this game. I don't understand Nick Pivetta starting this game for the Padres. There's just better options. I would have went Yu Darvish, like a guy that's got the experience in this spot. That's the only thing I didn't get. I still think there's a lot of faith for the Padres going forward, though. I think the Padres are winning the series.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think that the Xander Bogaerts deal was one of the worst ones that the Padres made?
That the Padres made? Maybe. Yeah. The Padres for sure. Not in that whole string of deals around baseball, because the Anthony Rendon deal is one of the worst deals.
That's the classic. I mean, my goodness, he hasn't played. Yeah.
So,
but for the Padres,
that one's pretty bad.
Yeah. Not as bad as the Rockies, Chris Bryant.
That one's slightly better than Rendon, but only by Rendon is the highest paid infielder in baseball.
Yeah.
He's making $35 million a year. It's
for crazy. Doing nothing.
And there's 2 years left on his deal, by the way.
For doing nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah. Amazing.
Tomorrow, later today is starter for the Padres and the Cubs. It'll be Dylan Cease versus Andrew Kittredge. I can't imagine the Padres losing that game. We'll see. A lot of teams get swept in this wild card format. So
yeah, that's the thing that worries me about the Yankees. But then I also think to myself, well, how come they can't be the ones to change that narrative, force it to 3, and actually win? Why not?
Again,
why not?
They have the advantage with Rodón being on the mound. They have the advantage of Game 3. It'll be Schlittler. The Red Sox legitimately don't have a pitcher for Game 3. And in all likelihood, they're going to start a rookie who's going into his 4th major league start in a playoff game in Yankee Stadium on the road. Not your best spot. I know Cam Schlittler hasn't had a lot of career starts, but he's a lot better suited to start this game. As we speak, too, also, the Reds and Dodgers are in the top of the 8th. Dodgers are now up 10-5.
Oh,
but the bases are loaded for the Reds in the top of the 8th. So
now that would be amazing because the Dodgers bullpen has been awful lately, and if they turn this into something, the Reds, I'm saying that might, even if they end up losing 10-8, that might give them the confidence to think, okay, we have to keep them at a certain number of runs, and maybe we can get to the bullpen to win Game 2. So
I think the Dodgers are incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah,
it's funny because I said this going into the game, and I was dead wrong. Going into Yankee game.
Ollie James says, just a recommendation: keep watching this, but also turn a TV to ESPN because Dodgers pen is imploding.
Yeah, we'll see. It's they got 2 outs now in the top of the 8th. But I said this at the start of the game. I thought the Yankees' best chance of winning. I thought there was a legitimate possibility going into this game that the Yankees, after the 3rd inning, you would have a good sense of whether or not they were going to lose this series or whether or not they can go to the World Series. After the 3rd inning, you'd know if they're going to play for the next 48 hours or month. That's how crazy it was. Because I thought, and it looks like the Dodgers got out of it. If Garrett Crochet was struggling and they were able to tag him for even 1 run, I thought the crowd would be so energetic that there was going to be no way that the Red Sox with their youth would be able to handle it and the Yankees would be able to cruise. Right. And I thought if Crochet was cruising, it would settle the Red Sox down and they would just get to play their game. And then it was manager versus manager. And you saw what happened when that unfolded. Yeah. I want to call one thing out. And if anyone that's here in the comments was at the game too and wants to agree or disagree, please let me know. And I wonder how because I'm sure you watched the Yankee game with the sound on. I want to know if this came through on the television.
The noise, the constant noise?
Well, no, not that. I heard about the static. The Yankee Stadium crowd wasn't great.
No, they were good at first, and then they died.
Yeah,
and I was even thinking to myself, I'm like, it's a 1-0 game. You're in the playoffs. Make noise the entire time. What is going on?
Very, very corporate crowd, and a lot more red than I wanted to see on the train on the way there. A lot more red than I wanted to see. Can I just dispel one rumor too? Because this comes out every time there's a big sports game that gets played lately. How Ticketmaster or the whatever the main face value seller of the ticket for the home team is tends to block outside zip codes from purchasing tickets outside of the region. Yankees did it too for this game. Where if you don't have a zip code in Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, you can't buy a ticket to the game.
Mm-hmm.
That rule doesn't apply for secondary market tickets, like Gametime. Like it doesn't apply to all those websites. So if you use the secondary market to buy your tickets, it doesn't affect you. So I don't the people that went crazy on the internet that
were Mike Francesa.
Yeah, like that were saying, oh, they're stopping people from buying tickets outside of New York. How is this happening? It's not really happening. They're stopping people from doing it in one, and really all they're doing is they're allowing Yankee fans to buy tickets for face value for much cheaper. Other than that, if you're buying secondary market on Gametime, which is where you should be using it, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $10 off your first purchase. You're getting tickets from, you could live in Tokyo and buy tickets to this game. It doesn't matter. So I just wanted to dispel that rumor.
And it's not a big deal because half of Connecticut, or more than half of Connecticut, is Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
and even upstate New York people are Red Sox fans.
Yeah, so let's calm down with all that. It doesn't. Let's calm down with all that because it doesn't. It's not a real thing. People love to freak out about that, and it's not accurate. It's just not.
Right. Yeah, I didn't like how the noise died down. That bothered me.
No, well, I've been to 2017. I went to every single home playoff game. I've been to definitely over 20 playoff games.
Oh, and the stadium was crazy during the Astros series.
Yep, and that energy is not there.
Yeah, because it's not the new stadium. Let's debunk that, okay? Because I went to playoff games in 2009 when they won the World Series. You may not have heard it on TV because they like to turn the crowd noise down and be like, "Oh, it's not as loud at New Yankee Stadium as it was in the." It's loud. When Raul Ibanez did what he did against the Orioles in 2012, that place went nuts, and you could hear it on TV. As much as TNT wanted to turn down the sound, you could hear how loud it was. It's not the stadium. It's the people that are being let into the stadium. It's the people who can afford the tickets because they're too high for regular people to buy. Regular people are priced out.
Yep. When you have secondary market bleacher seats going for $350 a ticket, you're
ridiculous.
Pricing out the normal fan. You're pricing out the regular
ridiculous. Fan. I can't afford that. That's why I'm not going to games, because I can't afford that. It's ridiculous. And I wouldn't want to be there anyway with the noise being made every 5 seconds between every single pitch. There's either an organ noise or just a noise or music being played, like clips of music.
The only thing that I want played is the PC Richard and Son whistle after a strikeout. That's all I want to hear. Yeah. I don't need a giant Death Star horn every time there's 2 strikes. I don't care. Let the fans create that magic. I don't need the speakers
old
do it.
2-strike thing used to be, oh, there's 2 strikes, stand up and clap. That's what it was. That's what you did. It started with Ron Guidry. That's what it is. Why do we need this manufactured noise every 5 seconds? It is so loud. I am neurodivergent and I am noise sensitive. And it has gotten so bad that even watching it on the TV is too much for me. So I won't go to a game until they stop doing this. And if they don't stop doing it, then I'm never going to a game again.
I also think, too, the viral moments online of the beer splashing and the splash zone in the bleachers have actually done a worse thing for the Yankees. Because now everyone that's there in the bleachers is just waiting for that moment where they can chuck their beer in the air. And they're not focusing on the little things in the game and focusing on actually rooting on every at-bat and making noise and the strikeouts being important. They're just waiting for a home run so they can throw their alcohol in the air. It's really become a detriment to the way the fan base views this team. And that the playoff atmosphere has just not been the same. 2019, it was great. That Astros series in 19 was really, really, the noise volume was great there too. But it has gone down since.
Yeah.
It really has. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I never went to a playoff game at the old stadium, but I've spoken to a lot of people that have. I know the atmosphere there was unlike anything else in sports.
Well, it also helped because the upper deck was literally above the field.
On top of the field.
Yeah.
But again, I was there in 17 when Didi hit the tying home run in the first inning. The place shook. The Greg Bird home run in 17, the place shook. Like the 2018 wild card game against the Athletics when Judge hit the home run, the place was electric. Like I've been to plenty of moments in the new stadium where it's been outrageous. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the new stadium is a problem. It's not. The fans are a problem. You have to be more into the games and ready. And if you don't like Red Sox fans getting into the building, then go to the game. Yeah. Don't sell them on the secondary market to make a profit. Go to the game.
Right. Also, I saw a video that someone took of an influencer at a game this weekend where she wasn't even paying attention to the game. She was just taking pictures of herself and Yankee stuff, which that's fun. If I saw someone like that while I was walking around the stadium, I would not be able to keep my comments to myself.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's just upsetting. It is. So I don't know. They got another game. They got another game tomorrow, and we'll see what they can do. But I'm not going into that game with a lot of confidence. I can tell you that. I'm just not. Yeah. After the way this game went, they've got a clear advantage in the managerial seat. They just do. And
can someone lock him in a closet somewhere?
I mean, silver lining, if they lose this series, maybe there's a hope and a prayer that they get rid of. I agree with you. I'm shaking my head behind.
If you're listening to this when we put it up, I'm shaking my head just like to the point where I'm going to trigger my vertigo because
no, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think that they're going to Also, in the post game, I'm getting word now that Aaron Boone, of course, defended the decision to take out Fried. And he said that Fried was, quote, losing command when he took him out. Which is, I mean, again, just a flat out lie. Because he retired the batter prior. So it's not losing. He wasn't losing command at all. So I don't know how you came up with that quote. I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, that was the quote from Aaron Boone, that Fried was losing command.
And apparently Jazz was asked about not starting, and he said Boone had texted him on Monday night to let him know that he wasn't starting. And he said, anything to win games. And when he said that, he was not looking at the reporters. He had his back turned to them, and he was looking through his locker for something. Yep. So something's going on.
If you listen to the comments to Jazz's audio, when they said to Jazz, because he's, they said that it was a text message, and Jazz kind of said, they asked Jazz in the press conference, is there a discussion that happens? Do you guys speak about it for a little bit? And Jazz goes, not really a discussion. We spoke. Which means he came in and was told, yeah, you're not playing.
Great. Cool.
And I defend it. I defend it because Rosario's number. Rosario was 6 for 9. Nice. In his career against Crochet going into that. So, yeah. I mean, Rosario's a good fielder. He had a good average against him. I actually kind of defend the situation. Now, again, Jazz had a 30-30 season, so kind of hard to defend sitting a 30-30 guy. Yeah. But I do kind of get the move. Like, analytically, it's not the craziest decision in the world. Putting Jazz in the 8th inning is what's crazy.
Yes.
Like, how did he not enter the game earlier? When you realize nothing is working against Crochet, how do you not get Jazz in
at that point, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter who we put in. They're not hitting. So maybe, again, as we said in the beginning of the show, with Rice, maybe someone can luckily hit into something, just luck into a fly ball that maybe carries, because basically Volpe did that. That's what Volpe's home run was. That wasn't
Ben says here, as a Sox fan, his whole comment, I'll read it. As a Sox fan, this series is far from over, and I'm not going to lie, that 9th inning, I was having doubts. If we didn't get that insurance run in the top of the 9th, Jazz would have tied the game up possibility. I disagree with you because, and I'm not discrediting you because I'm sure you don't watch a ton of Yankee baseball throughout the year. I don't blame you.
Right.
Jazz doesn't hit situationally. That's why I didn't like him in that spot. He's not a situational hitter. Now, Cody Bellinger comes up with the bases loaded. I have all the faith in the world that Bellinger will choke up and put a ball in the gap and call it a day. Jazz, every at bat, Jazz tries to hit the ball 9,000 feet. And more often than not, that's not a good strategy. And this is just the quote of the century. Sounds like the players might be disconnected with Boone. Yep. And Stacey, whoever that is, Midnight Token Floyd Chet. What's more crazy about that statement, which is so accurate, he has no connection with his players, no touch for the game. And this is the manager that when he was hired was lauded for, oh, well, he grew up in clubhouses. He's been around three generations of baseball. He's been around baseball his whole life. A guy that's been around baseball for that long and has zero touch for the game, zero feel for the game.
He has zero feel. It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
I have more feel for the game, and I never played. I've just been watching for the last 45 years, but I don't know.
No defending it. We'll be back tomorrow live after the game, but
and hopefully it's not a funeral for the Yankees season. Hopefully it's oh my goodness, they tied the series. Let's go to a game 3. Before we go, I didn't mention this in either Monday or Tuesday shows. I completely forgot, but I think, right? You got us to 10,000 subscribers, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
We surpassed it on Friday, actually, and I wanted it before the end of the regular season. That was my goal, and we got there. So thank you so much to everyone who subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Red Sox fan Ben Cruz, you can subscribe too, because we have some Red Sox people who watch the show. And we just appreciate all of you. And we'd appreciate you more if you subscribe. So please do that. Get our numbers up.
Yeah, I mean, I joined. This is my second full baseball season on the show. And I could not be prouder of the growth that we've made as a show. Clearly you guys enjoy it, and we're so proud of that. Both of us put a lot of work into this show, into making it informative, and I think both of us like to kind of have a let your hair down attitude when it comes to the show, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, which is a relieving point for a lot of fans out there. But we're
Locked On allows us to do that. They allow us to be ourselves on the show. We don't have to put on an act. This is pretty much me, just without cursing every 5 seconds. So agreed. So we really appreciate you guys' support. We can't wait till we get to 20,000 and the 10,000s after that. But this is an amazing accomplishment, and we're super proud of it. Yeah. All right. So let's just everyone take a breath. Deep breath in. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Just try to relax.
No, I want to, but
it's not over yet. It may feel like it's over, but it's not over yet. The show is going to be over, but not the series. Okay? This episode, I mean.
Just a reminder, the Yankee manager stinks.
Yes, that's evergreen. That is an evergreen subject. Say it all the time. I've said it about 30,000 times since I've hosted the show, because I started the season that Boone started. I've been here the whole time that he has been at the helm. And I say it, I don't know. Well, during the postseason, I say it a few times, but they are never going to win a World Series with Aaron Boone. They're never going to win a meaningful series against teams that they have trouble against in the playoffs with Aaron Boone as manager. You're seeing it now with the Red Sox.
And he just continues to prove you right.
Yep. I like being right. I'm a Virgo. We like being right. So thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this live edition of Locked On Yankees. As Brian said earlier, we will be live again after Game 2. Again, hopefully it's not
a funeral
or an obituary for the 2025 Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.